Hello guys, welcome back. My name's Nathan, and today we're going to be talking about EA's NHL 20 Top 50 Player Rankings and why they are really, really bad. Now, EA released their Top 50 Player Rankings for NHL 20. Their Top 50 overall players in the NHL. And EA has a bad pedigree when it comes to player overalls, but this year's just kind of seems like a whole nother level of terribleness. But what is the good and the bad in their Top 50? Watch till the end to find out. Now, EA right now on their Twitter page is going through all the top 50 players from 50 all the way down to 1 and revealing their potentials and overalls one by one. But the actual top 50 was leaked right now on their Twitter. They're at number 31. But the whole top 50 was leaked for us to enjoy and for me to critique in today's video. Now, I'll put the player overalls and their ranking on this side of the screen. Starting at number 50, they have Dylan Larkin, 88 overall. 49 is Freddie Anderson, 88. PK Subban is at 48 at 88 overall. Sebastian Aho at 47. Jonathan Huberdeau at 46. Morgan Rielly at 45. Jack Eichel at 44. Phil Kessel at 43. Jonathan Toews at 42. And last but not least in this 10 section, at 41, they have Brayden Point at 89 overall. Now, to me, when it comes to 50 through 41, there's some good picks, but also some bad ones. Now, starting with the good first, having Dylan Larkin at number 50, I think is good. Giving him the credit that he deserves is awesome. He had a brilliant year at Detroit and is definitely a top 50 player in my eyes. You also got some solid picks. Having PK Subban still in the top 50, I think is a good thing. I don't think he's declined as much as some people might say. I think he'll have a good year with New Jersey. You also got some solid picks. Jonathan Huberdeau getting some love at 88 overall, 46 overall. I like seeing that too. Also, Jack Eichel at 44. Like to see him get some love. Had an excellent year with Buffalo and should get even better too. I also like seeing Brayden Point in the top 50. Even though he should be higher, I still like seeing him as a top 50 player. Now, while there is some good picks here, there is always some bad picks, and there are some pretty bad ones here. Most notably, I want to say Freddie Anderson at 49. He should be a lot higher in my opinion. One of the best goaltenders in the league. Should be at least top 40 in my opinion. You also got some other ones that kind of confuse me. Sebastian Aho at 47. He should be a lot higher too. Had an amazing season with Carolina and almost led that offense completely, especially when it comes to play driving. You also got another confusing one in Phil Kessel. I love Phil Kessel, but I don't think his offense makes up for one of the worst guys at defense forward-wise in the league. He's at 88 overall, and I feel like that defense is just so bad that it should bump him back a few points overall, but still, like to see him get some love. And also, maybe the worst one there, Jonathan Toews at 88 overall. Now, I get if you like him, I get if you think he's a good overall player, because he is, but I don't know if he's a top 50 player anymore. While he did have a good season offensively, I think a lot of that had to do with Patrick Kane and his renaissance of a year. But going through 50 through 41, there were some good picks, some bad picks, but it wasn't as bad as the rest of the top 50. You've passed this test, EA, but not for long. Now, going into the top 40 of EA's player rankings, at number 40, they have Alex Pietrangelo at 89 overall. At number 39, they have John Carlson. Number 38, they have Braden Holtby. At number 37, they have the long-lost brother of Mitchell Marner, Mitchell Marner. I'm not sure where they got him from, but maybe from outer space, who knows, Area 51, maybe. At number 36, they have Artemi Panarin. At number 35, they have Leon Draisaitl. At number 34, they have Blake Wheeler. At number 33, they have Mark Scheifele. At number 32, they have Claude Giroux. And at number 31, they have the guy that just won the Norris Trophy, 31 overall, and, I mean, it was going okay until that part, but no. And I am sorry for being the guy that just won the Norris Trophy, you know, the guy who just had the best season for defensemen last year, only gets a 31. I'm sorry for being a little bit upset about that. Just a little bit. Besides that atrocity at 31, we're not going to talk about it anymore. I'm also going to talk about some of the other bad picks in this 40 for 31. You got guys like John Carlson, who I don't care is overrated, is one of the worst guys, one of the worst defensemen at defense in the league. Sure, he has great offensive ability, especially on the power play, but overall is not that great. You got guys like Artemi Panarin, who in my opinion should be higher than guys like Blake Wheeler. Blake Wheeler is a solid overall guy, and I can see how he gets better overall points because of that. But Artemi Panarin is a driver of play. He's a beast on the ice. You also have guys like Claude Giroux that should probably be higher. I don't know how he's on a 90. That's pretty sad. Oh man, I'm realizing that I'm kind of forgetting that Alex Pietrangelo is ranked the 40th best player in the league, which for a guy who just led his team to the Stanley Cup final and won the Stanley Cup as their best defenseman and possibly best player, gets the 40th overall spot. I don't care what anybody says. Vladimir Tarasenko is not better than Pietrangelo. Get that out of your heads, EA. I know he was the NHL 17 cover, but come on now. Alright, so we're getting off to a great start here. Not really, but hey, I think it gets better than that. I don't even know anymore. But going to 30 through 21. At number 30, EA has Kopitar, 89 overall. At number 29, they have Ryan O'Reilly. At number 28, they have Vladimir Tarasenko. At number 27, they have Taylor Hall. At number 26, they have Tyler Seguin. At number 25, they have David Pastrnak. At number 24, they have Brent Burns. At number 23, they have Sergei Bobrovsky. At number 22, they have Tuukka Rask. And at number 21, they have Erik Karlsson. And you know how I just said that it probably won't get any worse? You know, I lied. This one is a lot worse. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going with the pain. Alright, we're gonna attack this one, alright? Already a problem at Anze Kopitar at number 30. Now, you can like him all you want, but he had a bad year last year, bad offensively, and not that great defensively either. You see his expected goals metrics, they weren't that great. And having Mark Giordano as 1 point less than Anze Kopitar is gonna break me. It really is. I'm sorry. If Anze Kopitar is a worse center than Sebastian Aho, that's not a world I want to live in. And guess what? That's not real life. I'm sorry. I also want to point out that EA has, while they're still the same overall, they think that Vladimir Tarasenko is a better player than Ryan O'Reilly, which after this playoff run, oh man, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. Vladimir Tarasenko is not a better overall player than Ryan O'Reilly. I'm sorry. You know the guy that just won the Selke Trophy? I'm not sure about that, dog. I'm not sure about that. And then you got the next two picks, which is a Dallas Stars fan I like, but as a rational human being, I don't. Having Tyler Seguin as a better player than Taylor Hall, I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. I seriously don't. Sorry, I don't. You also got some other confusing ones. Brent Burns at 24. I'm sorry, he's one of the worst defensemen at defense in the league. And while his offense, yes, is one of the best ones in the league, I'm not sure if overall you can give him a 90 overall rating and actually be content with that. After the defense he's shown last season and the years before that, I'm not sure about that EA either. You also got one other that... okay, we're just going to face it head on. At number 21, they think Erik Karlsson is only the 21st best player in the NHL, which I will go to EA and fight them. I don't care. And yeah, sure, I guess there's a couple of good picks there. You got Pastrnak, who's right around where he should be, I would say. Yeah, that's about it. I guess the only way to go is up at this point. My gosh, EA, but we might as well keep going. At number 20, they have Johnny Gaudreau. At number 19, they have Mikko Rantanen. At number 18, John Tavares. At number 17, Brad Marchand. Number 16, John Gibson. At number 15, Auston Matthews. Number 14, Alexander Barkov. Number 13 is Patrice Bergeron. Number 12 is Steven Stamkos. And last but not least, at number 11, they have Evgeny Malkin. Now this is definitely better than the last 10, but still not as great. Now, going into the start, it's already bad. It's already starting out bad. I don't know what Johnny Gaudreau is worse than Mikko Rantanen, but I'm not going to go into that debate again. I've already gone into that debate. Don't need to do that again. You got a couple of other confusing ones in my opinion. I think John Tavares should be higher for his overall play. John Gibson, who I think is the best goalie in the league, should be higher, but he obviously has some reluctancy there, which I can see why when it comes to overall ratings. You also got a couple of guys that I think are a little bit too high, guys of Evgeny Malkin, Steven Stamkos. One, I think Braden Point is better than Steven Stamkos right now, so I feel that way. And also Evgeny Malkin, who is terrible defensively, is still decent offensively, but is not a line driver like he used to be. The rest of it is decent. I think Matthews is where he should be. Barkov is where he should be. Marchand is where he should be. Overall, not as bad, but still pretty bad. Now, we are getting into the cream of the crop, the top 10. We've already gone from 50 all the way down to number 10, and here we are. Now, the top 10 players for EA. Starting at number 10 is Carey Price at 91 overall. At number 9 is Andrei Vasilevskiy, same overall. Number 8, they have Drew Doughty. At number 7, they have Victor Hedman. At number 6, they have Kane. At number 5, it jumps up to 92 overall with Nathan McKinnon. At number 4, they have Alex Ovechkin. At number 3, they have Nikita Kucherov. At number 2, they have Sidney Crosby. And last but not least, at number 1, they have the best player in the league, which is factually true, Connor McDavid at 94 overall. This one kind of reminds me of 50 for 41, where there's some good picks, but also some ones that I do not want to talk about. Now, the first one that kind of comes to mind is number 9, Andrei Vasilevskiy. They have him in the same range as Carey Price, which, for me, I can see why. He won the Vezina Trophy, but again, I've explained this before. I don't think he should have won the Vezina Trophy. To me, Andrei Vasilevskiy is in the 5 to 7 range when it comes to NHL goalies. Had a bad year when it came to goal state of average, which to me is the best stat when it comes to context relating to goaltenders. Had a decent save percentage, but nothing absolutely out of this world and Vezina contention worthy, like some of the guys that they had last year, guys like Robin Leonard, Ben Bishop, who isn't even in the top 50. To me, Andrei Vasilevskiy is a very, very solid goaltender who still has more potential, still has more skill to give, but again, looks like this elite number 1 goalie in the league because of the defense and the team that he has around him. Speaking of players that have no place in the top 10, we have to go one more place up, that being Drew Doughty at number 8. And oh my gosh, EA, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this right now. I get if you like Drew Doughty because he was the best ranked defenseman last year, but doubling down on him after this past season, I don't think that's a good look for you. Sorry. He is not the best or the second best defenseman in the league. They have him as the second best defenseman in the league behind Victor Hedman, which, again, is more of a consensus pick as the number 1 guy. I don't agree with it, but he's still a great defenseman. But Drew Doughty in the same conversation as Victor Hedman and better than Erik Karlsson, Mark Giordano. The name goes on and on and on. I'm sorry. He's probably the worst placement in this top 50. Here's where we get into the part where we get to the players that EA missed in their top 50. And man, there are some rough ones. Now, most notably Mark Stone, who had a terrific year last year with Ottawa and Vegas. This next year, I think, will prove himself as at least a top 50 player for EA. My gosh, that was terrible. I think he's one of the best wingers in the league right now. And next year at Vegas, I think he'll get upwards of 90 points if healthy. You also got guys like Ben Bishop, who, in my opinion, had the best year of any goaltender last year. How is he not in the top 50? I don't know. He was a best of finalist, still didn't get into the top 50, I guess. Also, John Klingberg, who's one of the best offensive defensemen in the NHL right now. No top 50. Can't have you there, not whatsoever. But we gotta have Drew Doughty as a top 10 defenseman. Apparently. We also got guys like Alexander Radulov, who probably would have been around that 50 area, which I can kind of forgive, but Klingberg and Bishop not being there, I'm sorry, I can't forgive that. In my opinion, the 2 best Stars players. You got guys like Chris Letang, who had a solid year for Pittsburgh last year, both offensively and surprisingly defensively. I was really surprised he wasn't in that top 50. You also got Seth Jones, another guy who I was super surprised wasn't on there. I was thinking he was an EA favorite, but not having him in the top 50 surprised me quite a bit. You got Timo Meyer, who should be there. Guys like Matthew Tkachuk, who I thought would be there already. Guys like Philip Forsberg, who I think were on it a couple years ago too. Honestly, just some names that I think were left out. Not all of those guys should have made it, I think, but a lot of those guys got robbed. Guys like Ben Bishop. Seriously, EA? It's good to also realize that these are video game ratings, so they don't really count too much. These guys aren't the definitive top 50 rankings. It just is what it is, and it is EA's rankings, so I was obviously going to disagree with them either way. They have more past performance in mind. I go on more recency bias, so it is what it is. And it doesn't really matter either. This is a joke list. No normal list would ever have Mark Stone and Ben Bishop outside their top 50. Right? And hey, since opinions and rankings are subjective, I can just go in NHL 20 when I get it and change Drew Doughty's overall to a 69. You can't tell me not to. because you know I will do it. But of course, with this video, I need to hear your guys' thoughts down those comments down below. So let me know what you think about EA's NHL 20 top 50 player rankings. What do you agree with their rankings, and what rankings do you disagree with? Of course, the big question, what would you change the rankings to? And who do you think are the best players right now in the NHL? But if you guys want some more Grav videos just like this one, you should click on this card right here to watch my top 50 best NHL prospects. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on today's video and EA's top 50 player rankings. I'm Nathan, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.